Onnono hitomu. Otoko hito ga imasu.
Onna no hito mo, otoko no hito mo imasu. Next. Third one. Eigo no hon ga takusan arimasu. Eigo no hon ga takusan arimasu. Hoka no hon. Hoka is other. Other. Hoka. Hoka no hon, other books, wa arimasen. So,
Eigo no hon shika arimasu.
Eigo no hon shika arimasen. There's only one person answering. Please, all of you join. So next, third, you fill in the blanks. First one, EA. Please don't see the answer, okay? Answer page, please don't see. Sometimes the answers are wrong also. So don't see the answers. You have to do it without referring the answer. One, ie terebi ga arimasu.
Ie ni.
Ie ni terebi ga arimasu. Eki kippu o kaimasu. Kippu is ticket, okay? Kippu is ticket. Eki dash kippu o kaimasu. What is that?
Eki. Uga.
Eki?
Mai.
Eki is railway station. Kippu, ticket. You know, kaimasu?
Iki no.
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 Mai.
Kai.
Eki no, you're saying.
Yes.
Eki
Railway
no
station's
kippu.
ticket.
Eki wa.
Eki wa, you're saying. I'll tell you the meanings, okay? Or what you said. Okay. Eki wa. Any other thing? Any other answer?
Mai.
Eki mae. You're saying eki mae.
Yeah, Mai, because it is like thin sheet. Tickets are thin sheets, as you said.
People should?
Thin sheet like objects. So the ticket is a thin sheet.
Oh, eki ma, oh, mae, you're saying. Oh. Okay. Now, any other answer? You got any other answer?
De. Eki de.
Why do you say they?
They may be
Mobile.
possible because it's the mode
Mobile.
of transport. Talking about mode of transport, maybe.
Okay.
But mostly I think it would be no. Eki no.
Eki no.
Eki no kippu.
Eki no kippu. Now I'll tell you. I'll tell you what it means. You have said so many things. Okay. The particles that you filled up. So what meaning does it give? Now if you say eki wa, kippu o kaimasu means the station will buy the ticket. The station will buy the ticket. Eki wa kippu o kaimasu. That is the meaning if you use wa. If you use no, eki no kippu kaimasu means station's ticket I will buy. The station's ticket I will buy. That is the meaning if you say eki no. Now, the other thing was eki mai, you're saying. Mai, see, mai, you use it for the subjects. Like kippu is mai, but you can't put this particle before, you have to put it after. So kippu, how many you buy, then you can use mai. How many you buy, then you can use mai. I'll buy 3 tickets, then you can use mai. But here, eki is the location. Location, and what particle should you use for the location? You can
Me.
use or there. But here you use there because in this location, no, eki, you will do something. What will you do there? You'll buy tickets. So eki there, in that location, eki, you will do something. What will you do? You will buy tickets. So eki there is correct for that reason. Eki no ticket mean the station's ticket. Actually, you are not buying the station's ticket, you are buying the railway, the train ticket.
Yes.
Sensei, before
Huh?
that we use this day only for and meaning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is new for us. Can you explain more about day, Sensei?
The they is you're making it a conjunction,
Yeah.
and here this is a particle.
So can you explain more about this day particle, Sensei? This is new to me.
They particle location is used for the location where something will be done, some action is done. And they is also used for things. That is the things that you use to do something. So I use the watch, to see the time. So watch there. I see the time. I do something. Using something. So there also you use they. They is used for a location where something is done. So if I have to buy a watch, I go to the watch shop. I go to the watch shop. So watch shop there. Watch, oh, kaimas. I'll buy. So I do something at some place, in a location, that location will get there. Then I use something to do something. What I use will get there. Like mode of transport. So bus is there, train there, because that's what I use. Hikoki there, bus there, densha there, kuruma there, jitensha there. So that is their part. The third one, heya.
Me, Sensei.
Senseiga
Nima.
Because
Heya.
imas is the verb. No, imas is the word. Imas, arimas, if the imas and arimas are verbs, definitely the location will get only ni. Here is the location. Here is the location. So here ni senseiga imas. Here is the location where sensei is. So senseiga imas. So sensei is there. Where? Here. Here ni. Now shimbun. News o yomimasu. News is news. Yomu is to read. I read news. Shimbun. What will come?
They use something to do something.
Ah, good. Yeah, I use the newspaper to read the news. So shimbun there. Don't say on the newspaper, on the newspaper you read or something like that. I use the newspaper to read. So Shimbun de news o yomimasu. Next, Densha. Densha is train, okay. The other one was Shimbu. Shimbu, newspaper. Densha, train.
Train.
Kaisha ni ikimasu. I go to the office. Kaisha ni
Day.
ikimasu.
They.
Day.
Mode
I
of
was trying to go office.
Kaisha ni ikimasu. Then bus. Gakko ni kimasu. Here iku
Bus
used to go, kimasu, kuru used to come. Kimasu.
Bus day.
Bus
Bus
de
day.
gakko ni kimasu.
学校にいます。います。
Yeah, I use the bus to come to the school.
School.
So that was the Renshu. Now we'll see the exercise. Choose the best from the following. So these are the kinds of questions you will have in exams, any kind of exam. Okay. So kasa,
Umbrella.
三本。
Sanbun.
umbrella.
Umbrella.
三本ください。
Kudasai, please.
Please.
Please give. So when you say please, you say please give. That is, here it is please give. Suppose you say please, please. If I say eat, please eat. Please. But here, kasa, umbrella, please. So what will come?
三本。
Sambon. Kasa, umbrella. Counter is home. So sambon.
Sensei, can you explain this? Why Sanbon? Sanbon.
Sambon
meaning?
because for umbrellas, the counter used is home. Because umbrellas generally, like
Cylindrical.
hold an umbrella, like when it rains or something, you open the umbrella. But otherwise, generally, umbrellas are like cylinders, right?
Yes.
Umbrella, they have horn is the counter use. Like necktie is horn only. Okay, necktie also is horn. Necktie. Counter
What is the counter? Get it. I get it.
So necktie, we'll think why mai is not used. Horn is used. Japanese have seen it that way because anyway it was not a Japanese dress. Horn was not, no, necktie was not a part of their dress. Necktie was not their dress at all, but when they became Western, right, they tried to, they turned Western because the feeling was, even in Japan it was like that. Feeling was, if you turn Western, you become civilized. So once you start, thinking like this about yourself, you can't do anything about it. So there is nothing which says that the West is civilized and all that. West is, if you see, there is no, let us not talk about civilization there. But anyway, they were materially very advanced, and Japan wanted to be like that because for their, security and all that. Otherwise, they will be eaten up. Such a small country, right? So they were not under anybody's rule. They were not ruled by anybody. So that way, no one invaded Japan. But only after the war, they were for 5 years or something. They were under American rule. They governed. Otherwise, they were not under anybody's rule. So that really bothered them. So they wanted, because in 1854, those ships came, right? They were called the black ships. Americans. So that they forced Japan to open up. Till then, about 200 years, they were in total isolation. Nobody goes out of Japan, nobody comes into Japan. So it was like this. So anyway, they wanted to be, build Japan, make it strong, and probably rule the world also. They tried that. That didn't happen. But anyway, when these Westerners came in, right, when Portuguese and all came in, they could have worn something, and the ties then were not ties like this. Mexican ties are all like you have, they look like ropes. So probably the tie they wore then would have been something like that. It must have looked like a stick to them, some cylindrical. So that is why they gave the counter Hon. This is my, feeling. So Hon for umbrella also. Okay. Now Zashi is a magazine. O yomimasu. I will read magazines.
Ichisatsu.
Ichimai.
Issatsu. No, it won't be my
Satsu.
because it's okay. You're telling Zashi is like a sheet. It looks like that. But anyway, sheets of paper, but for published material, you use Satsu. For books, for magazines. There are special counters, okay? Magazines, it's a different counter. Newspaper, it is a different counter, but that's okay. There's a general counter, Satsu, which is applied across. So that's okay. So, Issatsu yomimasu. Kuruma.
Nidai.
Kurumaga nidai.
Arimasu.
That's now, read the underlined kanji and choose the correct. You know that ko, no? The general counter ko. You use it for things. It's like item, like item. 2 items, 3 items. That is also a kind of counter, no? You don't use it for people, but item. You use it for things around you. You use it for things, right?
Sensei, for the last one, I did not get it. Kurumaga?
Kurumaga nidai. Third one.
Nidai. Hold on.
Dai because machine, right? Mechanic. There could be, see, there are special counters for that also, but you use a general counter like this. Dai for all machines. For a watch, dai. Watch, dai. TV, computer, dai. Mobile phone, dai. So you could have special counters, but you use the general counter. The counters that we discussed, no, that is enough. And those are the counters you will hear also. In everyday speech, you will hear those counters. So, now, the second question. Read the underline. This is a typical, exam pattern, no, question pattern. So what happens is, I told you have 2 kinds of questions. One is, they'll give you the kanji and then you'll have to choose. You can see it written in kana. You'll have to see, okay. Nekutai o. How do you read this? Kaimas. I'll buy. Yeah.
Rokubon.
Rokubon. Rokupon.
No, it's not Rokuhon. It is second.
Rokupon.
Rupong.
Rokupon. Second one.
Oh, Ropon. Ropon.
Ropon. Okay.
Ropon.
If you have any doubt, no, just see the see page 59. There, no? Ropon. Ropon kaimas. I will buy 6 neckties. 6 neckties. Next, bore pen. Ga
San
Sanbon.
Sangbong.
bone. San bone.
arimas.
Arimas.
Third one, sampo arimas. Next, hondana ni. Hondana is
Buksa.
Bookshelves. Bookshelf.
ni. Honga.
Ju
Ju.
Juice.
Juhatsu.
Ju.
Juhatsu.
Ju.
Sats.
Hatsu. Second one.
Has. Has.
Hatsu. Hatsu.
Hassatsu. Ju. Hassatsu. Ju. Hassatsu. Arimas. So, on the bookshelf, you have how many books?
18.
18.
18.
Next. Second is soap, okay. Second, soap. Or
Yo.
E.
Kaimas.
Yon.
Yon.
Go.
kaimas.
Kaimas.
For soaps. For soaps.
Soaps.
Second is soap. Okay. Second.
What's the answer, Sensei? Yon?
Yonsatsu. Sorry,
Yonsatsu.
Yonko. Yonko.
Yonko.
I'm still with the book. Satsu. Yonko. Next. The third question. Translate using shika. And the negative form. Negative form is what? If you have shika, you'll have to have the negative form.
Imase.
So there
Imas.
are English
Imas.
students only.
Indojino.
Indojin.
Gakusei.
Gakusei.
Gakse. Ga. Chika.
Imasen.
Imasen.
Very good. Indojin no gakusei shika imasen. Indojin no gakusei shika imasen. Nice. This bookstore has only in Hindi and English books. Other language books they don't have at all. They don't have any other language. Okay, how will you say this?
Kono.
Kono. Konya.
Onya.
Yani.
Indoko.
Indoko. Kon.
So,
To. In.
Ego.
Ego.
No.
Eigo. No.
Ego. No.
No
Hon.
hon.
shika
Shika.
Shika.
Imas.
arimasen.
Arimas.
Sen.
Arimasen you have to use the
Arimas.
you know, shika means negative word. Kono honyan ni wa, kono honyan ni wa,
Niwa.
ego to, ego no hon shika,
Ego.
shika
Arimas.
Arimasen.
Arimasen.
arimasen. Okay.
Could you please repeat that? That how do you pronounce Hindi and English?
Hindi go. D. That is they and a small e. They and a small e. He, they and a small e. So this is Hindi. Hindi go. To, ego. A-E-go. No, home. Shika. Arimasen. Next, few girls are Japanese. Most of the girls are Indians. So we'll have to talk about only Japanese here. Nihonjin no onna no ko. Girls are ko no. Nihonjin no onna no ko wa sukoshi. Sukoshi means a few. Shika. Sukoshi shika.
Imasen.
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 So what you're trying to say is Japanese girls, right? Only a few are there. Others are all, other than a few Japanese girls, no? All are Indians. So Nihonjin no onna no ko wa sukoshi shika imasen. What about the next one? It's a good question, okay? It's like a conversation. You got to fill this up. The blanks. So what is this? Miss Tanaka is shopping. Where? At a department store. Tanaka says. Sumimasen. Kono waishatsu wa
Waisatsu wa
Ikura desu ka?
kura desu ka? So mise no hito says. Sore wa
Seva.
これは
200
200
rupee desu.
ルピーです。
Ikaga desu ka? So Tanaka says, totemo.
Totemo.
Good is what?
I.
いいです。
とてもいいですね。これと、
これと、あと、
あと、ハンカチを
ハンカチを買います。
Sound.
4、
Yon.
3、
Yon.
Kerchief
Yon
means
my.
thin ones.
Yon. Yon.
San
not
mai.
your my, that is the fourth answer, fourth blank.
San mai.
3
3
枚。
枚。
Samai
3枚ください。
kudasai. Yes, I am showing 3 and you're saying, like, we say, Pandavas were 5.
We saw that the 4 circle in
But you're not seeing my fingers.
Yeah.
Somebody, Pandavas 5. They say. No, don't say that. No, they say Pancha Pandavas. Pancha Pandavas. So like that. So hankachi. Oh, okay. Hankachi o sanmai
Sanmai.
3
kudasai.
枚ください。
Mise no hito says hankachi wa 1枚
1枚、
15 rupee desu.
5ルピーです。
Now what? Total. Altogether.
Zen.
Zembu de
Symbol.
ここで、
245 rupee desu ne.
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu. Okay, now read this with me. Tanaka. Sumimasen. Kono waishatsu wa means it is with her, near her. Kono waishatsu wa
ご挨
iku
拶はいくらで
mise
す
no
か
hito.
店
Sore
の
wa because it's near her. So sore. So he says sore wa
それは
それは
rupee desu.
200ルピーです。
Rupees.
200ルピーです。
Rupee desu. Ikaga desu ka?
Ikaga
い
desu
かが
ka?
ですか
Tanaka.
うん
とてもいいですね。
とてもいい
とてもいい
で。
ですすね。
いいですね。
いいですね。
これと、
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 あと、
あと、
ハンカチを
ハンカチ
ハンカチ
を
を
3枚ください。
3枚ください。
ください。
店の人。
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 ハンカチは
ハンカチ
ハンカチ
は
は
1枚
1枚
2枚
15ルピーです。
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 Zembude,
젠부대,
Zembude,
Nihyaku,
니ჰ야쿠,
Nihyaku,
Yonjugo rupi desu ne.
Yonjugo
Go
rupees.
rupee desu ne.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato.
아리가또.
That was lesson 8. So lesson 8 passed off without much of a problem. Understood? You now know how to conjugate your verbs. You know what verbs are. How are they classified in Japanese? How are they classified? Why classified verbs? Now you know what the rules that you apply for conjugation. You know, huh? And now I think you can understand conjugation without any problem.
பண்ணியா சொன்னதெல்லாம்.
And you have finished the lesson, you have understood the lesson too, because you have not asked me any question. You did the Renshu, you did the exercise also, you didn't have much of a problem. So lesson 8, though it looked like a big kind of, what could you say, a stage, right? You have crossed that stage. Now
But
let's.
essentially,
You have to-
when we are doing the lesson with you, then it seamlessly is done. But we are not getting to practice. At least I am facing this problem that I'm not getting to practice and evaluate myself. How am I doing?
How can
Uh,
you do it? See, right now, see, evaluation comes, okay, fine, what you're saying is true. But the thing is, this language, you can't evaluate yourself, at every stage you can't. Like, okay, I finished lesson 1, I have to evaluate. It is not so easy. Because I'll tell you something. Lesson 1, that leads on to lesson 2. Understood? Lesson 3. There are so many things. Now, see. Adjectives. Now, this lesson 9, you're going to see adjectives. There is a stage when I tell you, you can take up the assignment. The assignment in the thing. Because right now, if you do it, you really cannot assess yourself, the right way. So what you'll have to do is you have to learn a lot of things. Like, you'll have to learn, you have seen. The first thing how we started was I told you about numbers. Okay. We did up to 10,000. Okay. Numbers, you knew your numbers. Then you knew your kanas. You're able to read now. Because you know your kanas, you're able to read. And kanjis are there, of course. That also I tell you the meanings. You're seeing the kanjis there in the lesson. All that is there. Then you know what happened? The important thing is grammar. Now, grammar, what did we learn? Particles. And your particles, the whole problem with particles is, see, you're learning about 3 particles in one lesson. You're learning about 2 other particles in another lesson. Right? So you will have to learn a certain, you have still not come to that, stage where you have learned the most important particles. You will learn. And this level you will finish off the. And what? You just learn the conjugation of verbs. Without, conjugating your verbs, you will not be able to do much. You can only say, I am so and so. This is a book, that is a book. Now that is a pen. This is, it is on the table, it is under the table. But after we cross all this, now you're coming to, in lesson 9, you're coming to adjectives. And adjective, you have conjugations. Now, this adjective conjugations are so important. We'll see. Now, this lesson, I'll do the grammar, then you'll understand. And when you finish adjective, see, this lesson 9, your adjective conjugations are over. You'll never see any more conjugation of adjectives because everything you'll see this lesson. This is when you start speaking. Okay. So when you start speaking, you'll have to, how will you practice? That's it. Now you're saying, no, suppose I have a test or an assignment and all that. I will do that. Okay. I'll tell you at what stage you have to take the assignments. But a great many things, you start saying, you know how to say something in your language, any of the languages that you know. Try to say that in Japanese. See, the whole problem is we don't, but since you're in Japan, you can speak to a lot of people. That is a good way of learning the language. Especially to Japanese, and if you can find some neighbor, some old people, very old people, that's the best way to learn the language. They speak it so well, they speak it so gently, and they are very interested, in, suppose you go ask them, they are interested in explaining. Young people know they don't have time. So you see if if you have any old people whom you can
Yeah,
speak.
I mean, we do have a community center close by wherein they invite, non-Japanese foreigners to come and practice their Japanese, and there are old people who help them learn.
If there's no point in speaking to non-Japanese people. Speak to
No,
Japanese.
no, they invite non-Japanese people, I'm saying, to
Ah,
come and interact with native
ah.
Japanese speakers, and mostly they are the old people who are sitting there and helping them learn. I am right now not that confident to say more than my introduction.
No, there's nothing like, when see, confidence comes, you speak. There are so many students, my students who are learning the language. Now they speak better than me also. They're so fluent. Because you know why? The confidence comes when you start speaking. That is why, since you're in Japan, so good. So you're fortunate because you start speaking. Don't think, I have to learn everything and speak. As you learn, you speak. Once you learn the adjectives, no, you can start speaking. Conjugation of adjectives, you'll start speaking. Start speaking. Don't think, I have not reached the stage where I can speak. All of you, I'm not talking only about her. All of you can start speaking. And try, there are so many things we try to say, right? We know how to say it. Try saying it in Japanese. That is there. And I'll tell you when you have to do your assignment, because right now you're not ready for that assignment.
Yeah, because I opened the assignments, and the problem with the assignment was I had to do it online, and the typing was the main thing I was stuck
Don't
with.
have to type, don't type. You write in your notebook. See the question I'm writing.
Okay.
Writing also helps you learn the language. Now, this I'm telling for everyone, okay? Because she brought it up. I don't think I'm only addressing her. Even you, all of you. And I'll tell you when you got to take your assignment. Okay. And then what you'll see is, oh yeah, this is there. And right now, your practice is your Renshu and exercise. So what you got to do is you go and do it. Do the exercise and Renshu. And then, see, today we did that particle, you said no. People said, there were others who said my. Some people said, I told you what it means. When the particle is used wrongly, what it means, I told you, right? You said, eki wa, you said. If
Yes.
eki gets wa, it means the eki station is buying the ticket. See, that is it. So, right now the exercise and Renshu is what you should be doing. And I'll tell you when you take up your first assignment. Okay, I'll
Okay.
do that. So, lesson 9. As it is, we are only learning, right? Right now we are learning the ropes. And then once we, know what things are, I don't think you will have any big problem. Okay, lesson 9. Lesson 9 is, I told you, really important. Attendance is also good today. No, not that it has always been good. But yeah, why I was saying the attendance is this lesson is an important lesson. How is it important? See, once you cross this lesson, you pass this lesson, you can really start speaking. You can really start speaking. Why is it so? Because this lesson has adjectives. Now, adjectives, why are adjectives important? Because when you talk about things, when can you talk? Only when you describe. You can see, you can say, look out and say, these are plants. Those are trees. Over. But when you start describing, you see the sky, you describe the sky, you're able to speak, right? People. Oh, yeah, the sky is blue, clouded. That's all, finished. There's nothing more to speak then. But when you start describing things, you start speaking. So adjectives are really very okay. That is why I say this lesson is important. Okay. And there is so much in this lesson. So let us go to. I'll share the screen. We'll go to the grammar straight away. Now we are describing things. When we describe things, so I've given it like this. Okay. We talk about things, we use adjectives. Because that's how you describe things. Something is big, something is small, something is strong, somebody is weak, someone is beautiful, someone is handsome, okay, right? You say all that, right? You're describing things. You use adjectives. So when you speak about things, you just simply don't say something. You also say something like this. That is, you could actually, bring in you can say about two things about a particular thing, a subject. You can say about two things. Describe it, saying, giving it two qualities. It could have two qualities. Suppose you say some, you're buying a shirt. You can say, it is expensive. Then you can say something else also. It is expensive, but you don't find many varieties, many colors. The shirt is expensive, but you don't have varieties. A particular brand. You go to a shop, see, the shirt is nice, but it's expensive, but where? You have this color and the other color, that's all. But limited variety. You don't have much to choose from. You can also say, hey, this is not so expensive, but looks so good. Okay. You could say two good things about a thing. You could say something okay and something not. Okay. Now, when you describe things, you could have two sentences. You're talking two things about a. Now, this I have given as S1, which is sentence 1 and sentence 2. Now, if what I say in sentence 1 is favorable, that is plus. I given it as plus. And the sentence 2 is something unfavorable, I give it as minus. So you have plus and you have a minus. Plus, minus. Or if the first sentence has, I say something unfavorable about, in the first sentence, and something favorable in the next sentence, then what is the conjunction I will use? Ga. So ga is a conjunction. I connect these two sentences using ga. What does ga mean? But. In Chennai, I've always heard people say cheap and best. People normally say cheap and best. Then what? It is plus and plus, right? Cheap and best. Plus and plus. But suppose I say it is cheap, but not tasty. Then how will you say? What will you say? It is cheap, but not. Then you'll say but, right? Cheap, not tasty. You'll say but, because worst is something favorable, plus, but not tasty is minus. So where the first sentence has a plus and the second sentence has a minus, or the first sentence has a, this is actually minus, okay, this dot I've given. I don't know how this has become a dot. I didn't do it. It has happened that. So this is minus and this plus. So if it is the first, so minus, plus or plus minus, then the two sentences I will connect using a particle ga. Now this particle ga is not a subject particle. You see, after ga, you will have a comma. If you have a comma following ga, it means but. So ga, the meaning is but. I hope you have written this. This when we describe things. Now, please take the sentence down. Kono keiki. Keiki is cake, okay? In Japanese, keiki is cake. Wa oishi desu. Oishi means tasty. See, you're learning a new adjective. E adjective. Oishi means tasty. Oishi, tasty. Oishi, tasty. Please turn on your cameras and leave them on. Many of you have not done it. Though you have received the instructions from Hayakawa. So, kono keiki wa oishi desu. Takai desu. Because if you don't turn on your camera, it looks like, you're not participating. You don't want to be a part of this class. So, kono keiki wa oishi desu ga. Takai desu. Takai means expensive. Oishi is tasty. So the first sentence, I'm saying something good about it. It's tasty. Expensive is something not so okay. So kono keiki wa oishi desu ga, and a comma de, takai desu. So this is easy. This is easy. If you have a plus and a minus and a minus and a plus, then you connect the sentences using ga and a comma, which means but. But when the first sentence is plus, the second sentence is plus. The first sentence is minus, the second sentence is minus. Then what do you do? That is where your conjugation comes. Now write this down. Then it's not but which connects, and connects. So I told you about, Chennai every day. What could you say? You hear it every day, right? People say cheap and best. So that is plus and plus. So and, correct? So something like that. So if the first sentence ends in E, adjective, what do? Drop E. This is conjugation. Drop E. Add kute. First sentence, you'll have to connect it to the second sentence. How will you do that? The first sentence ends with an E adjective. See, sentences can end in what? In verbs and adjectives. So if the sentence ends in an E adjective, drop E. Add kute and connect the next sentence. And the next sentence can be whether, it can be na, a sentence with na adjective or E adjective. You're not bothered about the second sentence because you're not connecting it to anything. The first sentence, since you're connecting it to the second sentence, the E adjective, drop E and add kute and connect the next sentence, which could end with E or na. Now, see this sentence. Kono okashi. Okashi is sweet, okay? This sweet wa yasukute oishi desu. Yasui means what? Cheap. And tasty. Yasui, cheap. So drop E and add kute and oishi. What is kute? Yasukute, cheap and oishi. This sweet is cheap and oishi. Kono okashi wa yasukute oishi desu. So what does it mean? This sweet is cheap and tasty. Oishi, E adjective. Yasui, E adjective. So first adjective is E adjective. Drop E and add kute. Now, what happens if the first sentence ends in a na adjective? If the first sentence, ends in a na adjective, what do? Drop na. Drop na. Add de. And connect the next sentence. And the second sentence, don't bother about the second sentence. It can end in E or an I adjective. Because why you shouldn't bother? Because you don't connect it to any other sentence. Simply add this up. That's all. Like, you see, oishi desu. I've added this and completed the sentence. So if the first sentence ends in an I adjective, E adjective, drop E and add kute. The first sentence ends in an I adjective, drop na and add de. And connect the next sentence. Now look, sono hea. that room. Va. Benri there. Yesui this. Benri means convenient. Yesui means cheap. That room is convenient and cheap. Benri is an adjective, drop na and add de. Sono heava benri de yesui this. So you can make so many sentences. Okay. Now conjugation, the only thing is you'll have to know the adjectives. Now conjugation of adjectives. I think we'll take a break now. And if you have anything to ask me, you can ask me after the break immediately. 7:30, so 7:35 we'll get back. And when you get back, turn on your cameras, leave them on. Yeah.
Sensei,
Yeah.
a small request, Sensei, like this, you are using the grammar document for each lesson, right? So is it possible to upload this document in Google Classroom,
So there
Sensei?
in your class, no?
No, this
Your
good.
recorded class, it is there. Why should I upload this? What you can do is you can take a picture of this also. Who knows? You can do that. It is there in your classroom. Google, not Google Classroom. Your class, recorded classes, you'll have this. So no problem.
No, recorded class, we will be able to see the document in the video.
No,
But-
I can't do that. Sorry,
Okay.
I can't do that.
Okay.
That's it. Because I can't do, because this is, you can take this down. It's better to write it down.
Yeah,
Ask
okay.
for it. Yeah. I'm giving you enough time to write.
Yeah, okay, Sensei.
Yeah. Now, so that is it. So remember this. So when describing things, we use adjectives. So our sentences also have adjectives. So the first thing we say is something favorable, and the other thing is not so favorable. In which case it's very easy. Simply connect, say but. And what is but? Ga is but. Ga, but you should have a comma after that, okay? Ga, and you should have a comma after it. Okay, I forgot this. So if I were in the classroom, I'd be writing all this on the board. Okay. So ga is but. So like this sentence, kono keki wa oishi desu. I'm saying this cake is tasty. Nga desu nga. Simply add nga and connect. Takai desu. This cake is tasty but expensive. So, but when you describe things and you say two, favorable things, about a subject. So when it is plus or two unfavorable things, so minus and minus. So there what happens is, how do you connect? You have to use and. So how do you say and? When you use adjectives, the first sentence, if it ends in an E adjective, drop E and add kute. What is this kute? Kute makes it and. So yasui means what? Cheap. Yasukute means what? Cheap and. Okay. Yasui is cheap. So it's actually two sentences. Kono okashi wa yasui desu. Kono okashi wa oishii desu. So these two sentences, what do I do? I have to connect them together, put them together. The first sentence is, ends in an E adjective, drop E and add kute. So kono okashi wa yasukute oishii desu. So this sweet is tasty and cheap and tasty. If the first sentence ends in a na adjective, what do? What you do is drop na. You don't use na and use de in its place and connect the next sentence. So sono hea wa benri de yasui desu. The first sentence ends in a na adjective. So that room is convenient and cheap. So that was connecting two sentences. Okay. Now, conjugation of adjectives. I told you, something very important. This is what is important. You have three factors you'll have to have in mind. Three factors. When you're conjugating adjectives, Japanese adjectives. What is it? One, whether you're speaking formal or informal. The speaker only knows how he has to speak. The speaker has to first decide whether it is formal or informal. Next, whether he is saying something positive or negative. See, we say no. Please remember, and then get this into your thing, right? Please remember one thing. Negative is not opposite, understood? Yes, negative is not opposite. Okay. Good is positive. What is negative of good? Not bad. Bad is antonym. It's an opposite. What is the negative of good?
Not good.
So that you should understand. So negative is not good. So formal, informal, positive or negative. And then there's the next thing, whether it is past or non-past. Japanese tenses, you have two tenses, past, non-past. Whether it is good or it was good. I'm talking of, and one adjective, no, good. Whether it is good or it was good. So past or non-past. So these are the three factors you'll have to have in your mind when you conjugate. Or when you speak also. When you speak, you conjugate your adjectives how? These three things you'll have to have in mind. Formal, informal, positive, negative, past, non-past. I hope you're writing all these down in your notebook. So I've given you enough time. So this is there before you. So I think you had the time to write all this.
Yes, I said writing.
Next. So you have this in mind, these three things, you start conjugating. So then what happens? How do you conjugate? The rules are different for E and na adjective. No, that's why you have to classify them like that. So E adjectives, we'll start with E adjectives. Remember. So the first thing is you'll have to know whether it is positive or negative. Okay. So we'll see positive first. Now, you've already seen this adjective. Yasui, what is Yasui? Yasui, what is it? Cheap. So cheap is positive, correct? And Yasui is, what is the tense? What's the meaning of Yasui? See, in Japanese, you know one thing. Yasui is a sentence by itself.
Cheap.
Yasui is a sentence by itself. Because, suppose you see something, Yasui, they'll say. Japanese will say something like that. Yasui. What is the meaning of Yasui? When I say Yasui, it is cheap. The meaning is, it is cheap. It's not, when you say Yasui, it does not mean cheap. It is cheap. So you're speaking informal. You're speaking informal. And it is non-past. Remember something. Yasui here, then you'll understand. First, E adjective. And I'm saying positive. Then I'm giving you an adjective, Yasui. Now, when a Japanese speaker, when a Japanese sees something, see, I used to take some Japanese, we used to have some Japanese teachers and all, coming for training and internship. So I used to take them out and all that. And then they would want to buy Pashmina shawls. Okay. You know what is Pashmina shawl, right?
Yeah, from the sheep we take during the cash with the handover.
Yeah. It's mighty expensive there. There, you can't even go near it in Japan. So when they come here, I used to take them to this Kashmiri, this emporium and all that. And then they used to see that and say, Yasui. What are they trying to say? It is cheap. That is what it means. So it is a sentence. Don't think it is a word like this and it is a word. It's a sentence too. When Japanese speak it. Or if you speak Japanese. But this is plain. It is plain, informal. So you see positive, informal, and it is non-past. It is not past. It means it is cheap. Now, how do you make it formal? How do you make it formal? Simple. Simple. Add this. Yasui this. Remember I told you, you have to end your sentences with this. Simply add this. Yasui this. What's the meaning of Yasui this? It is cheap. Now what happens when you added this to Yasui? You made it
Formal.
formal, but the tense is non-past only. Tense is non-past. Okay. Now you'll have to make it past. See this. You'll have to make it past. I drop E. Okay. What do I do if I have to make an E adjective or, turn it to past tense? I drop the final E. What I'm left with? Yasu. I hope you people are writing this. Yasu. And then add katta. Add katta. And you see, I have used full stops up. The sentence is over. So, yasu katta. What does it mean? It was cheap. The meaning is, you can write the meaning also. I have not written the meaning there. You can write the meaning. It was cheap. Yasu katta. It was cheap. But it is informal. It is past. Positive, past, and informal. Now, how do I make it formal? I simply add this. Yasu katta this. To the informal thing, I'll have to add this. When I say yasu katta this, what do I mean? It was cheap. So much clear? Up to this point clear? All of you? But if you have any, if I have to repeat something, I'll repeat again. Don't worry. So far clear?
Yes, Sensei.
Yes, Sensei.
Sensei, just for once, I mean, I don't need explanation, but can you repeat the meaning of Yasui
I will
and
do that.
Yasui this?
Yasui means it is cheap. Yasui this, it is cheap. Yasu katta, it was cheap. Yasu katta this, it was cheap. That's all. That's the meaning.
Okay, thank you.
Formal, informal.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to negative. What is negative? This is positive, no? So Yasui, we'll have to make it negative. See the conjugation. Now see. What do you do? Drop E. Yasui. You have Yasui, drop E. Add k and add nai. Nai itself means no. Nai means no. So yasu, E, drop E. So add k, add nai. Yasukunai. Okay. What is the meaning of yasukunai? It is not cheap. It is not cheap. But it is informal, okay? It's not formal, it is informal, and it is non-past. It's not in the past. See, negative, non-past, and informal. How do you make it formal? Simply add this.
Yasukunai this.
Yasukunai this. So you will have to speak like this. Yasukunai this. It is not cheap. Yasukunai, it is not cheap. Yasukunai this, it is not cheap. So here it is non-past and formal. Next, there is a straight formal. We have added, see, to informal, we have added this and made it formal, but there is a straight away formal. This one. Yasuk, Yasui, drop E and add k and add Arimasam. Yasuk Arimasam. It's a straightforward formal. You don't add this, but it ends in masen, no? So it is mas, masen, so it's formal. So yesui drop e and add k and add ma, arimasen. Yasuku arimasen means what? It is not cheap. Yasuku naides, it is not cheap. So there are two ways to make anything, to express yourself formally. One is add this to a plain negative, and then another thing you can do is add arimasen. So yesui drop e and add ku and add arimasen. That's all. Okay. Now we have seen non-past. We'll have to see past now. Take the negative plane, negative informal. What was the negative informal? Yasukunai. This one. Take that. And drop e there. Yasukunai, drop e. And add katta. Yasukunai, drop e. This is plain informal, no? Negative. Take that. Drop e from, you are left with yasukuna. Add katta. Yasuku na katta. Yasuku na katta. So this is past. What does it mean? Yasuku na katta. Yasuku na katta means what? It was not cheap. Then, how do you make it formal? Simply add this.
Yasuku
Yasuku
na
na katta des. What does it mean? It means it was not cheap. Then what? You got another, no? Yasuku arimasen is there, no? What do you do with this? How do you make it past? Simply make it arimasen, add deshita. Arimasen des, you can't say. Yasuku arimasen, because you can't use mas and des. Whereas Yasuku arimasen deshita. Yasuku arimasen deshita. That's it. Plain and formal. So there are plain formal two ways. Negative. Plain formal negative. There are two ways. Yasuku na katta des. Yasuku arimasen deshita. I'll go back again. So we took yasui. We saw yasui. Now it is negative. So yasui, drop e, add ku and add nai. Yasukunai. Yasukunai means not cheap. It is not cheap. Not cheap. It is not cheap. Yasukunai des, it is not cheap. Add this. Make it formal. There is a straightforward thing. Yasuku arimasen. It's straight away formal. Drop e, add ku, add arimasen. Yasuku arimasen. Yasuku na katta des. No, sorry. Yasuku nai. Take yasuku nai. Drop e in this and add katta. Yasuku na katta. That makes it past negative. Add this, it becomes formal. That's all. But there is another, yasuku arimasen. Simply add deshita. That's all. That is plain formal. Now you'll have a question. Should I use this or this? You can use anything you want. If you choose to use this also, you're okay. This also is okay. Understood? So you don't have to bother about that. Yasuku arimasen you can use. Yasuku nai des also you can use. So no problem about that. So this was E adjective. Now nai.
Can you get back? I'm just noting it down. Can you
Yeah,
scroll
please.
down?
Negative only, no? Only negative, right?
Yes, the last sentence of negative is pending.
Okay, 1 second. Yes. Yasukunai des. Yasuku arimasen. Yasuku na katta desu. Yasukunai, drop E. Yasukunai, plain in negative, drop E. When I say plain, I mean informal. Okay. Yasukunai, drop E and add katta. Yasukuna katta desu. Yasuku arimasen deshita.
Noted.
Okay. Next, you have seen E adjective, that's all. No more E adjective conjugation. Over. Na adjective. Now we'll again go back to positive, informal, all that. Okay, non-past. So positive, we'll take first positive and negative, then later negative. But informal, non-past, formal non-past, all that. And past. Non-past, informal. You know, Benry? Benry.
Convenient.
Convenient. How will you say it is
Benrina.
convenient and plain? Informal? Benrita. Benrita. Now we will see how interesting this is. What is this da? You know this, no? You have seen this before.
Yes.
This is formal, da is informal, that's all. Now look, if I have to make it formal now,
Benrides.
I add this. I don't add da. Benrida is informal. Benrides is formal. Both mean what? It is convenient. Meaning is it is convenient. You can write the meaning too. It is convenient. You write for Benrida. Benrida is also right. It is convenient. Only thing is this is formal. Da is informal. Okay. Now comes. So you've seen negative. Sorry, non-past. Now we'll have to see past. Benri. Da is non-past, make it datta. Dat. Benri datta. Benri datta. So da is informal, datta is, sorry, da is informal, non-past, datta is informal past. Now let us see formal past. See this. Deshita, Benri Deshita. Des Deshita, da datta. So past formal is Deshita. Again, I'll go back. So, na adjective, non-past, and informal is Benri da. Drop na, add da, that's all. Non-past formal, you add this, not da. And past, informal, da becomes datta. Use datta. It was convenient. And past formal is Benri deshta. So da datta, des deshta. So this is positive. Now we have to see negative. Non-past. First we see non-past. and informal negative. Benri, Deva, Nai. That's a particle, okay? Va? Benri, Deva, Nai. What does it mean? It is not convenient. Benri, Deva, Nai. It is not convenient. How do I make it formal? Add this. Benri, Deva, Nai, this. What does Benri, Deva, Nai, this mean?
It is not convenient.
It is not convenient. Now look, there's a straight formal. Benri, Deva, Arimasen. Benri, Deva, Arimasen. It means it is not convenient. It is formal straight away. The other one, to informal Nai, Deva Nai, you added this. So non-past, formal. Now we come to past. So will you repeat after me? Benri, Deva Nai. Benri, Deva Nai, this.
Benri Deva Nai.
Deva Nai das.
Arimasen.
Arimas.
Benri Deva Arimasen.
Arimasen.
Benri, Deva,
Deva
Arimasen.
Arimasen.
Now, past informal. No? Informal past. Now we have seen non-past. Now we have to see past. We have seen Benri, Deva, Nai. No? So look at this. Benri, Deva, Nai, you have seen. Correct. We have to work with that. So past informal. Benri, Deva, Nai. Drop E. Drop E. Add Kata. Benri, Deva, Na, Kata. Benri, Deva, Na, Kata. What does it mean? It was not convenient. Benri, Deva, Na, Kata. It was not convenient. It was not convenient. How do you make it formal? Benri, Deva, Na, Kata. This is informal. Simply add this. Benri, Deva, Na, Kata, this. So past formal. So what does it mean? It was not convenient. That's all. Now you have something. Benri, Deva, Arimasen is you have, no? Simply add Arimasen, Deshita. Add Deshita. Benri, Deva, Arimasen, Deshita. Finished. Past formal. Two ways. One you add this to the informal. The other one straight for formal is there. No? Benri, Deva, Arimasen. Add Deshita. Benri, Deva, Arimasen, Deshita. Okay. Now I'll go back and so that you don't forget. Okay. E adjective. Yasui. You can repeat after me. Okay. Yasui.
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 Yasui des.
Yasui
des.
Das.
Yasukatta.
Yasukatta.
Yasukatta des.
Yasukata
Yasukatta
des.
des.
Negative. Yasukunai.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Nine.
Yasukunai.
Nai.
Drop E, add kunai. So yasukunai.
Yasukunai.
Yasukunai desu.
Yasukunai.
Yasukunai
Yasukunai
desu.
Yasuku arimasen.
Yasuku
Yasuku
arimasen.
arimasen.
Yasukunakatta.
Yasukunakatta.
Yasukunakatta desu.
Yasukunakatta desu.
Yasuku arimasen deshita.
Yasuku
Yasuku
arimasen
arimasen
deshita.
Deshita.
Now, benrida.
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 It is convenient. Benrides.
Benrides.
It is convenient. Benridatta.
Benridatta.
It was convenient. Benrideshita.
Benrideshta.
It was convenient. Next. Benridevanai.
Benridevanai.
It is not convenient. Benridevanaides.
Benridevanaides.
It is not convenient. Benridevarimasen.
Benridevarimasen.
Benridevanakatta.
Devanakatta.
Benridevanakatta des.
Devanakatta desu.
Benrideva arimasen deshita.
Benrideva arimasen Deshita.
This is your conjugation of adjectives. Okay. And this, if you know, you can speak anything. That's all. You don't have any more conjugation of adjectives. You have seen adjectives, you have seen how to conjugate them, and now we can see how we use them. Okay. Now, there's another thing. A to B deva. Suppose you see, please write this also. A to B deva. This structure, what does it mean? Between A and B.
A and B.
Between A and B. Between A and B. Suppose you say, no, Eigo to Nihongo deva means between English and Japanese. Okay, like that. So much you have. In lesson 9. Okay. Now, today, right after the class, please don't put it off on tomorrow. Okay. Right after the class. Or probably after your food, no, dinner and all that. Before you go to bed, take one adjective. I'll give you the adjective. Take this adjective. What is this?
Asui.
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 Atsui.
Atsui. Hot. Hot.
What is Atsui?
Hot.
Hot. It is hot. Now so far people were complaining, right? It is hot, it is hot. Chennai is hot. Every place is hot. So Atsui is hot. Take this adjective, conjugate. I'll give you another adjective. What is this?
Nigiyaka.
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 You already seen it.
Noisy.
Lively.
Noisy.
Noisy, but lively.
Lively.
So I also want this class to be Nigiyaka. So all of you should be asking me things. You should be saying things. Okay. So Nigiyaka. Nigiyaka is adjective. These two adjectives, see, you're doing it immediately after this class. If you put it off for tomorrow, no, you'll forget whatever you have seen today. Conjugate them.
20 minutes.
Okay. What is the first thing you will do? There are 3 factors I told you, no? What is that?
Formal or
Whether it's
informal.
positive or
Formal,
negative.
informal, that is okay. But
Then pause.
Before that. How did we
Check
see?
whether it is E adjective
adjective.
or na
Oh, okay,
adjective.
no. Atsui is E adjective, Nigyaka is na adjective. But the first thing, how did we go? Step. First, what did we do?
Positive
Positive.
or negative.
Positive.
E adjective we took. See, Atsui you take, it's Atsui. Take Atsui and see positive. Like, conjugated, seeing it as a positive adjective.
It is very hot. We have to use that.
It is hot.
It is not
And
hot.
next thing you'll have to do is it was hot.
It was
Correct.
hot.
See, what will you have to do? It is hot. It was hot.
It was
So
hot.
first positive,
Positive.
and then you'll have to see whether it is informal, formal,
Hmm.
and
Past and
not
non-past.
past or past.
Past and not past.
Then next,
It was not
negative.
hot.
Positive you have seen. Then you have to see negative. In negative, what you will see? Informal, formal, non-past, past.
Past.
That's all. You over. Next, what you do is take the na adjective Nigyaka. And then again the same thing. Positive, formal, informal, informal, formal. First informal, okay? Because start informal. You have to add this now. So informal, formal. Non-past, past. That's it. So do that, and then negative. Negative the same thing. Informal, formal. Non-past, past. Do that. Then you will not need anybody's help. So this was the grammar in this lesson. I hope you'll remember to do this. Please do it immediately after the class. Today. If you have any doubt, refer to the things we have already seen. Okay. And then as you write, Atsui, it is, you say the meaning. It is, you write the meaning too. It is hot. Atsui this, it is hot. Atsukatta, like that. So tell the meaning or write the meaning too, and do it in your notebook. So that's all as grammar in this lesson. Now we'll have to do the lesson 9. Now lesson 9. I think I've already done the kanji, so no problem. I've given you the meanings of the kanji. And I have sent you the video also, class video also. I hope you have seen it.
I saw.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I saw.
Please do see it then and there, because don't leave it for, I'll see all of them together, because then you will end up not seeing anything. Okay. So lesson 9 is about Indo no tabemono. India, Indo. Tabemono, food. Indo no tabemono, Indian food. Indian food. See the kanji taberu is to eat. Tabemono is, mono means a thing. The thing that you eat is tabe. Now see the sentences. Oishi desu. Oishi desu means it is tasty. Na, but. See the comma after that. Oishi desu na. Karai desu. Karai means spicy. Now Japanese have the, if they'll never say it is bad and all that, understood? Any food that you give them, but they simply cannot have Indian food. Understood? Indian food, so difficult for them to have. Either they're very spicy or very sweet. So listen to anything, even we'll say, no, it's not at all spicy, nothing is there. It will be very spicy for them. They will not be able to have it. But they will never say it is bad. What they will say is it's tasty, but spicy, which means they have not had it. So, oishi desu ga karai desu. It is tasty, but spicy. Nihon no kare, Japanese curry. Wa oishiku nai desu. That means Japan, no? Japanese curry is not tasty. Japanese also have curry, you know that. Japanese curry looks like our curry, not made our way, the way we make curry or, Indian curry. It's made totally, the ingredients are different. Everything is different. It looks like our curry. And that's the only curry, curry this is mixed with rice, Curry comes with rice, curry rice. And that's the only thing. Otherwise, you don't mix all this, right? They have rice, plain rice, and then they follow it with other things. Like, you don't eat rice, you don't mix up rice and all with anything. But only this curry rice, you have curry and rice mixed together. Otherwise, the rice will be eaten just like that. And then, of course, the other things. You almost chase it with this, the other things. Vegetables or fish or meat or whatever. But curry rice is something that is eaten, most commonly eaten. And at least in a week, they have it twice. Curry rice. Anywhere you go, you get curry rice. So, Nihon no kare wa oishiku nai desu. Japanese curry, it is not tasty. It is tasty and all that, but here, whoever is saying it is saying this. Kita Indo, Kita means north. Kita Indo, North India. No hito, North Indian people. Wa amari o kome. Kome is rice, okay? Kome is rice, so o, respect. O kome. O tabemasen. They don't eat. Now look. That amari, use your finger again. Close it. And then read. Kita Indo no hito wa, North Indian people, right? Wa o kome o tabemasen. They don't eat rice. North Indians don't eat rice. That is what it means. Kita Indo no hito wa o kome o tabemasen. Now take your finger off. You have that word amari, which means North Indian people, North Indians, don't eat much rice. That amari means much. It's almost like in Hindi and all, utna. Utna, nahi khate, something. So, what it means is, it's not a negative sentence. Remember, it is not a negative sentence. Tabemasen is a negative verb, but it is not a negative sentence. That is, it doesn't mean North Indians don't have rice, don't eat rice. It means North Indians don't eat much rice. Don't eat much. So, kita Indo no hito wa amari. Amari means much. And whenever, please make a note there in your book, here only, right? When you have amari, the verb ending the sentence will be negative. Adjective ending a sentence will be negative. both verbs and adjectives, ending sentence will be negative form only. You can say amari tabemasu. Amari okome wo tabemasu. So kita indo no hito wa, so Japanese, the way they say things, it's like this. They don't say anything like go around. Long-winded their sentences are. And they don't say anything straight like that. So kita indo no hito wa amari okome wo tabemasu. North Indians don't eat much rice. Next, kita to minami deva. Minami is south, kita is north. So I told you A to B deva means between A and B. Here, kita to minami deva means between north and south. Tabemono, food. Ga chigaimasu. Chigaimasu means different. Chigau means different. Chigaimasu. First group verb it is chigau. It becomes chigaimasu. So kita to minami deva, between north and south. Tabemono ga chigaimasu. Food is different. Indo no ryori, Indian food. What is ryori? Food. It means cooking also, both cooking and food. Indo no ryori wa yasukute oishii desu. Yasui means cheap. Oishii means tasty. So yasukute oishii means cheap and tasty. Indian food is cheap and tasty. Indo no ryori wa. Ryori is a kanji word, okay? Two kanji word. Two kanjis make that word. Ryori means cooking. It also means food, what you cook also. So indo no ryori wa yasukute oishii desu. Cheap and tasty. Raja. Indo no ryori wa oishii desu ka? Indian food. Is it tasty? Indian food. Is it tasty? Indo no ryori wa oishii desu ka? Suzuki says, oishii desu. It is tasty. But totemo karai, very spicy. It is tasty, but it is very spicy. But very spicy. Shikashi. Shikashi means but, however. Shikashi, but, however. Yasui desu ne. Cheap, isn't it? But cheap, isn't it? Raja. Nihon wa, Japan wa. Nedan. Nedan means prices, cost. Prices, cost. No takai. Nedan no takai means prices high. Takai is high. Or costly. Price is costly. Kuni desu ne. Kuni is country. So it is like this. Japan is an expensive country, isn't it? The price high country. So Nihon wa, Japan wa, nedan no takai kuni desu ne means nedan no takai kuni means expensive. Nedan no takai means expensive. Nedan no takai kuni desu ne is an expensive country, isn't it? Prices are high, right? Suzuki, high. Yes. Karewa, the curry, no? 300 yen. Kurai desu. It's around 300 yen. Kare. Wa 300 yen. Kurai desu. Japan is an expensive country, and this year it's It's been very expensive, I heard, and it is going to become very, very expensive in the coming years. That's what I heard. Food, if you eat food outside and all, it's going to be very expensive. So, Nihon no kare wa, so hai kare wa sambyaku en kurai desu. Kurai means, what is this kurai? Around. Please write, around. And Japanese use this kurai and all a lot. Because they don't want to say 300 yen. Around 300. That's how they speak. So kare is around 300 yen. Suzuki. No, yeah. Nihon no kare wa, Japanese kare wa, amari oishiku nai desu. It's, see, I told you, if amari comes, oishi, it becomes oishiku nai. Japanese curry is tasty, but not much tasty. That is not as tasty as Indian curry. That's what amari oishiku nai desu. Not much tasty. So Japanese curry is not much tasty. Devi. Nihonjin wa, Japanese wa. Taite, generally, mostly. Taite, mostly. Nani o tabemasu ka? What do they eat? Nani o tabemasu ka? Nihonjin wa, Japanese wa. Taite, mostly. Nani o tabemasu ka? What do they eat? Suzuki. Indo to onaji, same as India. Indojin to onaji, same as Indians. Same as Indians. Indojin to onaji, same as Indians. O komedes, it is rice. Same as Indians, it is rice. What do Japanese eat? Gently, mostly. Same as Indians, it is rice. Pan. Pan is bread. Pan mo tabemasu. They eat bread too. But, why ma ga? But, Nihon no. Gohan. Gohan is cooked rice. Gohan, cooked rice. Rice is kome. If it is not cooked and all, then rice, what you say. But once you cook it, it becomes Gohan. Gohan means food also. No? And in Japan, no, Gohan is rice only, cooked rice. Rice, morning breakfast rice, afternoon rice, dinner rice, always rice. So that is Gohan. Nihon no Gohan wa totemo oishii desu. Japanese, so they eat bread too. Pan mo tabemasu nga. But Nihon no Gohan wa, Japanese rice, here it is. Nihon no Gohan wa totemo oishii desu. It's very tasty. Very funny. English has just one word, rice. Japan, you have rice and then cooked rice also. Like for us, our language also, it's the same. So Devi says, Kita Indo no hito wa amari o kome o tabemasu. North Indians, they don't eat much rice. Amari o kome o tabemasu. Indo no, India's, Kita to Minami deva, between India's north and south. Indo no kita to Minami deva, between India's north and south, tabemono, food, ya, and fuku, fuku's dress, and kotoba language, nadoga, things like these, ga chigaimasu are different. Why this yaya and nadoga is used? Because there are so many other things different, but only 3 of these things are said. So, Devi says, Kita Indo no hito wa amari o kome o tabemasen. Indo no kita to minami deva. India's north and south. Between India's north and south. Tabemono, food, ya. Fuku, clothes, dress, ya. Kotoba, language. Nado ga chigaimasu. So Suzuki says, so desu ka? Oh, is that so? So restaurant. I'll finish this, okay then. So restaurant. So restaurant. Restaurant. So the scene is now, it shifts to the restaurant. And there, Suzuki, as they enter, no, Suzuki says, Kirei na restaurant desne. Kirei has got two meanings. One, beautiful, another is clean. And for Japan, whatever is clean is beautiful, right? Clean and beautiful are the same thing. So kirei is a na adjective. A, it ends in A. It's a na adjective. I told you, no? If they end in A, it is na adjective. So kirei na. Why it takes a na? Because what comes after that is a restaurant. So kirei na restaurant desne. It's a clean restaurant, isn't it? This is happening in Chennai. Okay. Devi says, A is ya. Hi is yes, A is ya. Soreni. Soreni is moreover. Moreover. You'll have to remember all these words, okay? Soreni, moreover. So why I say this? Because to speak. Soreni, moreover. Yes, kutte oishi desu yo. The food, it's cheap, right? Here. And tasty. Whatever they say serve here is cheap and tasty, Then he says, Sumimasen. So he calls the waiter. He says, excuse me, Sumimasen. Bajji onegai shimasu. Now what is this bajji? Bajji is bajji, you all know it, right? Onegai shimasu means please. Sumimasen, excuse me. Bajji onegai shimasu. Mise no hito. The person at the shop. And mise, restaurants are also called mise because they sell food, no? They give you food, that's it. So mise is shop, but restaurants are also called mise. Mise no hito there says, hi, yes, kashikomarimashita. Now kashikomarimashita is a word they use. This is used by whom? By people who serve, in the sense, who take orders. Like on the plane, no? The steward or, the people, air hostess and all, they take orders, right? You ask for water and they get you, ask for coffee, they get you. So, if you ask for something, you place an order and they say, hi, yes, certainly. That is only kashikomarimashita. You don't say it, okay? Only if you take orders, you say kashikomarimashita. So people working in the restaurant or on the transport sector and all that, or hospitality sector. If you're in the hotel and all that, work there, you'll say, "Hi, kashikomarimashita." Okay. So Mise no hito says he has taken the order. Then Suzuki, doesn't know what this is, because Raja Devi has said, Bajji onegai shimasu. So Suzuki asks, Bajji te? What is the te? In Tamil and all you say, no, Bajji na? That na only it is. Bajji te, because you have not heard it correct, or you have heard it, but you don't catch it. You hear something, okay, but you have not heard this before. What is Bajji? What is it? That's it. Bajji te? Nan desu ka? Bajji te? Nan desu ka? What is it? So Raja says, Nihon no, Japan no, tempura. Tempura is, in Japan, it's tempura. It's actually a
Fried fish.
it's actually a Portuguese thing, dish. Tempura, it's from Portugal. Okay. And it's from that word, their word. But you'll ask me, if it is so, why is it given in
Hiragana.
Hiragana?
Hiragana.
That is a good question. But I'll give you a good answer also. What happens is, so many words come into our language, okay? So many words. But what happens is those words become so in our language become they are all from other languages, but they come in and then there are so many words which don't are still in the process of being assimilated. But there are so many words which have come in and then sort of what could you say, sunk into the, and it has become so Japanized. This tempura, it became so Japanized that this, people don't even think that it has come from somewhere else. There are so many words like this, and such words are written in hiragana. Understood? Those words which have come in, and Japanese feel it is not, tempura is a word, their own word. So that's it. Okay. So tempura is written in hiragana only. Okay. So Nihon no tempura to onaji desu ga. So what is this bhaji? What is this? So he says it is the same as, bhaji is the same as Japanese tempura. But he's saying, Raja saying, but because ga is there, see, this onaji desu ga. Yasai dake de skurimasu. What is this dake only? Dake, underline dake and write only. Yasai dake de. What is the de? Why de is coming? Yasai is used, no? You use something, no? To make. So yasai dake de skurimasu. Skuru is to make. Skurimasu. It is made, we make it with vegetables only. So bhaji is the same as Japan's tempura, but it is made only with vegetables. Made with vegetables. Yasai dake de skurimasu. That's why that particle de. Circle it and write used to make. Yasai is used to make. Yasai is vegetables. Dake de skurimasu. Suzuki says, so desu ka? Oh, is that so? Nihon no tempura wa niku. Japanese tempura, Japanese tempura. Niku. Niku is meat. Ya sakana. Sakana, fish. Mo tsukaimasu. Nihon no tempura wa niku ya sakana mo tsukaimasu. Tsukau is to use. Please write. Tsukau. Tsukau. Down below that, right? Tsukau. And above that, skuru. Right. Skuru is to make. Tsukau is to use. Okay. So, Nihon no tempura wa niku ya sakana mo tsukaimasu. So, as for you can write the meaning. As for Japanese tempura, please write the meaning like that. As for Japanese tempura, niku ya sakana mo tsukaimasu. Niku is meat and fish. Sakana is fish. Also, we use fish, meat, and fish also we use. So that is it. I have taken some more time this class because I wanted to finish the lesson. So anyway, I've done the lesson. You can go and read the lesson again. But before that, please today, before you go to bed, conjugate those two words. Okay. It will be really very helpful. You won't forget. So, mata asatte. Arigato gozaimashita.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu, sensei. Mata asate.
Bye.